I don't want to do this anymore. To be honest, I really don't want to keep going. Am I so scared that I've ended up like this? I can't stand it anymore, but there's still one wish I haven't fulfilled.
What wish?
It's to drive a big truck. Sometimes when I'm sitting here, I think about it. What do people really want from their dreams in this life? What's the point of having goals, working so hard every single day? He said the truck's clutch is really heavy. I tried it myself, and yeah, it's pretty heavy, but how could it possibly be as heavy as 3 Buddhas? No matter what the future holds, let this video be a record of the job we once loved. His name is Yuan Ping, born in 2001. Turns out, he's actually a year younger than me. Actually, we got to know each other a long time ago because of trucks. To be honest, I really admire his dedication and courage when it comes to trucks. Coming to find him this time, I wouldn't say the journey was full of obstacles. But the difficulty of this task is no less than the journey to fetch the scriptures. So how many trips have you done today? This is my second trip.
Second trip?
Back for second trip. Yeah.
So now, is it just the first trip finished, or?
The first trip is done.
Finished first trip at 1.
It's just too hard and takes too long to haul a load.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's been a bumpy ride. If it's not this delay, then it's that delay.
Don't do it properly.
Need to do it properly. Let's go.
Yeah, when we were unloading on the first trip, one of the tires blew out. Luckily, there are enough wheels, so even with one less tire while empty, it wasn't too much of a problem for us. But changing the tire took us nearly half an hour. Oh! But to be fair, you can see that the Yuanping 401 driver handled these unexpected situations pretty calmly.
I started driving in 2017. I think it was 2017. Back then, I was driving a farm vehicle with my dad, that little 6-wheeler.
In my hometown in Jiangxi.
Yeah, started off with that farm vehicle and just kept driving, gradually moving on to bigger and bigger ones. It just kept getting bigger, but honestly, it just feels more and more exhausting. For someone in their 20s, driving this kind of truck is really tough. So young, but I've already been worn down to look like I'm 30.
They always say 3 minutes on stage takes 10 years of practice off stage. Whether it's being a person or driving, it's the same principle.
Watching him handle this big truck so easily, actually, he's put in a lot of time behind the scenes too. From what he told me, driving in real life is nothing like those times as a kid, excitedly sitting in front of the computer playing Euro Truck Simulator. In reality, you'll run into way more unexpected situations than just cranking up the random event chance to 100% in the game.
Of course, if you truly love it, I believe you'll be just like Yuan Ping, finding happiness even in the struggle.
To make sure no sand spills during transport, every time before leaving the loading site, the driver has to get on the truck and level out the sand. Who says being a driver means you don't need to use a hoe? Look at how skilled Yuan Pen is with the hoe. If you don't drive anymore, going home to farm is a good option. Just kidding. If you truly love being a driver, how could you give it up so easily? Driving in the South, a box of water for $5 is definitely a lifesaver.
Of course, you can refill water for free at the loading site, and Yuan Ping, who loves cleanliness, always makes sure to wash his truck thoroughly.
At this point, I just want to say that it is really worth it for the boss to meet such a clean driver.
With so many trucks loaded and heading out, no one is left behind in this crew. Who is more anxious to weigh?
Yes, every driver's salary is closely related to carbon. If you don't work a bit more efficiently, how can your pay be high? That's why, at the weighing station, it's easy for tempers to flare over things like cutting in line.
Sometimes you just have to entertain yourself a bit. If you ignore him and I ignore you, we can still find joy living among all these people. I've always been saying this.
The favorite original soundtrack is broadcast again. Please check it out. Wherever the big trucks go, if there aren't any, it's still the world of big trucks. This route is full of big trucks.
No matter if you're driving a small car or following behind, you should keep your distance. It's not that you can't, but you should stay away. That's what we call keeping a safe distance. We all know it's dangerous. Big trucks have a lot of blind spots, so you need to keep a certain distance. Just keep your distance from us. Don't try to compete with us.
Not. Transport is tough. A lot of people out there say that all those dump trucks and semi-trailers are like airplanes on the road. But what you guys don't know is, nowadays almost 99% of dump trucks have speed limiters installed. The maximum speed is just 60 kilometers per hour, that's it. When the truck speed gets close to 60 kilometers per hour, the GPS inside the vehicle will give a warning first. Once it actually hits 60 kilometers per hour, even if the driver steps on the accelerator, the truck won't go any faster, because the electronic throttle has already been restricted. Of course, whether there's a speed limit or not, the biggest taboo when driving a truck is going too fast. You have to ensure the safety of other road users, and at the same time, be responsible for yourself and the cargo on your truck. The feeling just floats around. For a 20-kilometer journey, it took us almost 40 minutes. Even though we were rushing to meet a deadline, road safety was still extremely important. Let's eat first, okay? Someone wants to eat first, right? Yeah, you go grab a meal somewhere first. This trip is basically done, right? And this is only the second trip today, only the second run today, and we only started at noon, 12 o'clock. What time is it now? It's already 6:30. Started at 12 and it's only the second trip. Yeah, only made a bit over $100.
People need food to keep going, you know. If you skip a meal, you'll be starving. Yeah, when we eat, we go for something affordable and good value. Okay.
As you know, after unloading the second batch of goods, Yuan Ping took me to a mall he often passes by to have a meal. Wait, actually, it's around the mall, not inside. He said he passes by here almost every day, but only has time to walk around a bit. In the end, out of all the options, we picked a Shaxian snacks place, grabbed a quick bite, and then rushed off to get the truck fixed. Get in the truck. I don't know if you noticed, but when we were unloading just now, the red tarp was only halfway open. That's because the sliding rail broke. Counting this time, we've already had to fix the truck 3 times today. Hey, how long have you been at it? How much time have you spent on it? You can go one more round, you know.
I've been at it for several hours already.
Where are you now?
Where am I?
Over there.
Over there? Aren't you going outside?
Oh. Not here. It's half a ton. Eggs worth $100. This is 1 ton, 1 or 2 tons. Yeah, it's pretty strange. Every time I go to the repair shop, those problems just don't show up. After testing a few times and making sure there were no problems, we set off again to go make some money. Alright, let's get back to work. Watch me work. Let's keep going. The nightlife has definitely started now. Yeah, it's the trucker's nightlife. The first 2 rounds were just training, and now it's only just now truly beginning.
After the ambassador returns safely, we will witness our safety together.
This song just happened to come up on the CD player, so I thought I'd mention it. The first time I heard this song was probably back in Form 2. Back then, it seemed like every industry was doing well. Everyone was working with so much passion, especially the transport industry. I'm really familiar with the sand and gravel transport business. Some people made enough from it to buy buildings, and some could afford luxury cars. But those were the good old days. Even though the lyrics are about a love story, when I look at us young guys, our passion for truck fleets and the transport industry actually feels quite similar. Whatever job you do, love it. Since you've chosen it, don't complain. Think back to why you wanted to get into this line of work in the first place. Honestly, the transport industry just isn't fair to us young people these days. Maybe we were just bored at the wrong time, or maybe we grew up too slowly. I'm sure there are people out there who understand what I'm saying. Alright, enough chit-chat. Let's get moving again.
make it up. Just keep the revs from getting too high. Control that.
One.
If the revs are too high, it just wastes fuel, and it's not like we can go any faster anyway.
Exactly.
Yes, that's about right. Pay attention to the water temperature. It's really important. The water temperature can only go up by a few degrees at most. You should also keep an eye on your vehicle's performance. Today, after I finished rinsing off the foam, I switched the height setting. Being on the road, that's the kind of freedom so many truckers have always dreamed of. We love trucks exactly because of this. We even love it so much that we can easily tell which engine it is just by the sound. Because of this, we no longer let the trivialities of life and the rush of getting from place to place make us forget to appreciate the scenery along the way. Let's slow down and enjoy everything life has to offer.
Oh no, I got hit. Off track again. Is it a roadblock? Damn. It's all because of this thing. Three trips. One trip per truck. Every trip, I have to sort something out.
I walk over here to deal with it, and then it's gone again. Yeah, I need to go take the test. Ah, get in the truck. All right. Look, it's already 11:30 now.
Everyone who should have finished work at Workshop 1 has left, so we can only clock off now. Yeah, nothing we can do about it. And them. There was no choice but to go home after get off work. Trying hard. One more time.
I was all ready to pull an all-nighter, but it turns out we finished a bit early. Life really is full of all sorts of setbacks and surprises.
The first trip today started just after 1 p.m., and even before loading, the tarpaulin had already come off the track once.
Then, during the first unloading, one of the tires blew out.
Originally, I could have gotten on the truck just after noon, but I ended up waiting in the cold wind for over an hour. And that's not even the worst of it. Who would have thought, after 3 trips, the tarpaulin came off the track all 3 times? So, do you think this money is easy to earn?
But then again, that's life.
It's always full of all sorts of surprises and unexpected things. Our program doesn't have any script or embellishments. What you see is just the most ordinary and most genuine side of these truck drivers.
Even though this job isn't as easy as people imagine, we can see that when Lu Ping is driving, there's still a sparkle in his eyes.
In this noisy world, who isn't tired?
Every adult is pretty exhausted, and whether your dreams come true or not isn't really the main point. What's important is, in this life, do you dare to chase your dreams? After sorting out the paperwork, as usual, we headed out to the night market, grabbed a simple late-night snack, and then officially called it a day and went to sleep.
All right, there's still something really important I haven't mentioned.
It's Lu Ping, who wants to share something from his heart with everyone.
Since I was young, I've always liked driving, probably because of my dad's influence.
It's truly a karaoke egg.
Yeah. My father actually raised. But honestly, the market isn't great these days.
Ah, is it still not too late now?
To all the brothers who haven't joined the industry yet. And for those thinking about joining, you really need to think twice. Don't just try this line of work because you have a bit of passion for it.
Actually, driving isn't as easy as you might think. It's really exhausting.
In the end, if you keep pushing yourself, maybe you can last another 2 or 3 years at most.
When you go for your L2 test, let me know. I'll record an episode. Sure, no problem. And finally, I wish everyone the courage to dream, to imagine, and to take action.
Life is only a few decades long, so if there's something you want to do, just go for it.
See you all next time.